Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29, back again for some more DC reviews, and in this DC review I'll be covering Kneel Before Zod, issue 8, and last but not least, Shazam, issue 14. I'll now get things organised for the first one that I'll be reviewing. So, as things move into the first one, which is Kneel Before Zod, issue 8, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? In some essence it does, but my overall rating for it is a 6.5 out of 10. So in other words, not very high. It feels like it's dropped a bit, especially in relation to not only the story, but also just the cover art in relation to the story. It's now time to move into the area as we have a look at the internal art around the beginning, middle, and of course the end, and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story begins, we end up catching up with Zod and Sinestro, getting in a bit of a conflict at the beginning. And as we start to move forward towards the middle of the story, we get something that covers 27 cycles later. To which that could be anything. It would be nice if they sort of like translated what that meant. Is it 2.5 years later, or what is it in like something that's precise? And last but not least, towards the end, to which we have Drew Zod getting angry at sorts at something that's sort of like happening within his mind, in relation to Jor-El and how he has sort of like played an effect in him, I guess, being a more evil villain. So for the internal art, I give it a 7 out of 10. Next is the area of the story itself. First things first, do we get anything in relation to time? Of course we do. As was shown earlier, we had the 27 cycles later being used as the time. Next is the location. We didn't really get any indication as to where it was taking place location-wise. And last but not least, the cast of characters consisting of Zod, Sinestro, and last but not least, Jor-El. My overall story rating in this is a 6.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the next issue of Shazam. So as we move into the next issue of Shazam, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough it does, to which I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the area of the internal art as we have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end, and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story begins, we return to seeing what Freddie Freeman is doing on Earth as he is encountering some of the villains right now. We also have the return of Uncle Marvel and Mary Marvel, of course, along with her furry friend, a rabbit there, and we get to see some things take place. So as we start to move towards the middle of the story, we see that some fights are taking place in regards to the platform, which connects to the Rock of Eternity. And last but not least, towards the end. So for the internal art, I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the area of the story. Considering how far we are, did we get any comic references to any of the previous issues? No, we didn't. Next is the area of time, which was addressed as meanwhile. The locations, we had some platforms, so and these platforms in a relation sort of connecting to the Rock of Eternity. The cast of characters consisting of Freddie Freeman, Mary Marvel, Uncle Marvel, Billy Batson, and last but not least, the Submen. For the overall story rating, I give it a 7 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.